WCW. What do you think of that whole thing with the NWO and the Outsiders? And
I think it's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I like the ring music. I like the gimmick. I think it's cool.
yeah,
Plus, like, I had a high opinion of Scott Hall and Kevin Nash already. They were like cool to me and stuff, and nice guys. And I rode with Scott Hall for a while, and got along with him real good. And, when I first started here, I talked to him, and he was like, "Well, I want to get you in WCW," and I was like, "Great," So, then watching the whole thing with, kind of changed wrestling because it was kind of like started everything became like a shoot.
yeah,
Almost. That's why I liked it.
yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. What do you think of what the WWF's doing with Bret Hart as their top heel? You think that's a good
Cool.
idea?
Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Cool.
I think it's cool because I think that's what he wanted to do, but I don't know. I think I haven't seen enough of that yet.
Right.
It's too new to see, what exact direction they're going to go with it. But what I've seen, I've liked it.
Yeah. How come you haven't gone to WCW? Because you said that. Oh.
I didn't. They didn't offer me enough money.
Right.
And then I think Kevin Sullivan was insulted or something that I wouldn't accept his offer. So like he has it out for me, or he doesn't want to use me now or something. And,
Yeah.
Plus, things got better with ECW, and I thought the longer I stay in ECW and the bigger I build my name, the more I'll be worth. Kind of like the Rob Van Dam thing.
Right.
But I kind of feel like a certain amount of loyalty to Paul Lee because when the WWF left me high and dry, he kind of took me in, and I didn't want to just leave the first time that WCW said, "Hey, you want a job here?"
Yeah.
And plus, I mean, I would have if they would have offered me a shitload of money, but even though they offered me more money than I'm making right now here, I was like, no, I want to wait.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your first impression of ECW when you came to ECW? Did you watch it? Did you see the tapes before you came down? Or
I saw some of the tapes.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Some of the times I thought to myself, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. Then, but when I was offered the job, I was like, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And then when I got here, I thought it was like a real cool place to work.
Yeah.
I mean, in some ways it's changed a little bit. I didn't really ever, politics in WWF were so strong that coming here was like, God, this is great. There's no politics. But, now 10 months later, I see that, there are politics here and there, and I hate politics, so
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with them. So, I don't have as fun of a time working here now as I did when I first got here, but I still have an okay time.
Yeah. You think it's because ECW's gotten bigger with the pay-per-view and
No,
no?
I just think I got used to it.
Yeah.
Before I wasn't used to it. I was like, there was still a newness to it.
I mean the politics as far as that goes.
Oh yeah, well I think the politics got stronger because probably because the company started getting more successful.
Yeah. What do you think of Paul as a booker? I mean, you've been everywhere. I know you even did Smoky Mountain for a little while.
Yeah.
What do you think of Paul?
Paul, I can't believe like some of the stuff he comes up with, and it seems like he comes up with it off the top of his head, and I know he doesn't, but
Right.
It seems like it.
Right.
But I think he's like really, really, really creative, and sometimes almost too creative.
Right.
And he gives the guys, a lot of say, sometimes almost too much say.
Right.
But I think that it's too much for him to handle by himself. So he takes I think, he should let, like with plane tickets and stuff, he wants to do all the plane tickets himself, right? But then when it comes to some booking stuff, he lets other guys do it. I think it should be the other way around. He should let other people do plane tickets and him concentrate on the booking.
Right.
But I mean, overall, definitely positive, as far as booking goes.
Yeah. What do you think of your push right now? Because you're really not being used a lot lately. When you first came in, you're like right there, and for a while. And
Well, I don't know if you've been watching TV lately, but I've got this like thing with Tommy Dreamer.
okay, yeah. So you're starting to get back in the mix then.
Yeah, definitely way back in the mix.
Okay.
I think that I was being tested for my loyalty because of all the WCW rumors coming up and a couple other things. And, I don't think that it's smart to push a guy if he's just going to get up and leave.
Right.
And as much as I told Paul I wasn't going to leave, I think I had to prove it to him. So, maybe I have a feeling that he said, well, let's do nothing with him. And if he's still here, then he shows, that he's loyal to the company, then, it'll change. And it has because, I just personally know that, I have a lot of good stuff coming up.
Yeah. Were you disappointed not being on the pay-per-view?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. But, what could I do?
Yeah.
I could quit, but then what do I do?
Yeah.
But next time, next pay-per-view will be different. If I'm not on the next pay-per-view, which I'm pretty sure I am.
Right.
But if I'm not, then, I'm going to have to say something. This pay-per-view, I didn't really say anything.
Right.
I kind of said to Sabu, I have to be on this thing somewhere. And so, he stuck me on the dark match. But,
right.
This pay-per-view, I want to be a main part of it. I think I could, as someone who has been through a lot of pay-per-views and worked for a lot of companies and, seen a lot, I think I could be an asset to the pay-per-view and help it, and I don't want to be given a chance to.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I will.
Yeah. What do you think of the pay-per-view? What did you think of the pay-per-view? Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I thought it had its good points and it had its bad points.
Yeah.
You could there were some points where you could definitely tell it was the company's first pay-per-view.
Right.
But in other ways, there was like so much raw talent that it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And plus, the overall ECW product is so good, it didn't matter if it was a little bit screwed up or not, or, it didn't matter if it wasn't totally 100% polished.
Right.
It was still good.
Right.
And it was like, I think everyone at the end of the pay-per-view was real proud, that it came off the way it did.
Yeah.
I was, happy too.
Yeah. Do you like this? Do you like it this way as compared to Vince, where you have Paul, who's, he's pretty accessible for the most part, and in the other group, you have to go through so many channels. And you know what I mean?
Well, you really can't compare the two,
Yeah.
because of the money. For $150,000 a year, I'll go through as many channels as I need to.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's cool to get to go to talk to Paul like directly, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to be rich then.
Yeah.
So there's two different ways to look at it.
Work-wise, do you miss working as many dates per month, as far as like the house show swing?
No, I miss the money. That's about it.
That's about the only thing you miss from there.
Yeah.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.